Now we are going to start with types of multiple fruits. In the introduction I told what is the meaning of multiple fruits. The multiple fruit is a large fruit which is developed from many ovaries. That means it is developed from an inflorescence. Okay, inflorescence means group of flowers. So in that multiple fruits there are different types. First type is called Sorosis. The first type is called Sorosis. Now this type of fruit, Sorosis, the best example is a jackfruit. Already we studied. So once again we are going to see the Sorosis, how it is developed. It is developed from, that is the Sorosis fruit is developed from spike inflorescence. Okay, already we have studied about what are the different types of inflorescence. Spike inflorescence or spadix inflorescence. Both the inflorescence we have studied. If you go through the introduction topic in the inflorescence, you can understand. Then the peduncle develops into central axis. Here the peduncle means the central axis of the whole inflorescence that develops into the central axis. For example, we are taking the vertical section of the jackfruit. Now this is the stalk. Now actually the peduncle is modified into the central axis. The thick and stout portion will be there. It is a central axis of the fruit, central axis of the fruit. Ovary wall develops into membranous covering over the seed. Now when we are taking this, a number of small portions are coming away, edible portions. But the edible portion, that sweet portion is developed from perianth. That next step it is coming. But if you remove that, inside that one seed will be there. One large seed will be there. The seed is covered by very soft membranous covering. That is actually the fruit wall. So the ovary wall develops into membranous covering over the seed. Actually it is the pericarp. Okay. Perianth is fleshy and juicy. So the perianth, already we have studied what is the meaning of perianth. Undifferentiated calyx and corolla. So the perianth is becoming thick, fleshy and juicy. Now that is only the edible part. Example, jackfruit. Now we are coming to the second type of multiple fruit which is called Syconus. Okay, Syconus. Now the Syconus fruit developed from Hypanthodium inflorescence. Okay, the type of inflorescence is Hypanthodium. It is a special inflorescence. Okay, it is a special inflorescence. The receptacle develops into fleshy part. The receptacle means the tip of the thalamus, we can say. The tip of the thalamus is broad and that is called the receptacle. It develops into the fleshy part. Now for example, this is a section of the flower. There is a fruit. Now here you can see that receptacle. Now this is the receptacle that grows over the seeds and forming the thick and the fleshy part. It will be green in color. The female flowers that develop into numerous true fruits with a seed. Now if you take the section, a number of seeds will be there. The seeds are covered by the thin membranous covering will be present. Very large. They are generally we can call as fruit wall. Okay, fruit wall. Now the fruit wall and the seeds will be present inside the receptacle covering. So the female flowers are developed into numerous true fruits with the seeds. Example, ficus. Okay, that is a ficus fruit diagram. Now we are coming to the functions of fruits. Okay, why the fruits are developing? Okay, inside that seeds will be there. But what is the purpose of the development of the fruit wall, pericarp? It may be thick and fleshy or it may be dryable. And if it is a drying, bursting, not bursting like that, that we are going to see. The whole fruit, why? They are developed. What are the functions of it? We have to see. Edible part, that means the fleshy part. In the fleshy fruits and all you can find. The edible part, the eatable part is a source of food and energy. Now they are storing lot of food and a lot of energy we are gaining from them. Right. Now the edible part is a source of sugar, carbohydrate, pectin. It is also another one type of starch or carbohydrate. Organic acids like lactic acids, okay, ascorbic acids like that. Okay, organic acids, vitamins and minerals. That means the edible part of the fruit is having lot of nutrients. The nutrients are sugar, pectin, organic acids, vitamins and minerals. Okay. The next function of the fruit is the fruit protects the seeds from unfavorable conditions and animals. Okay. First, unfavorable condition. The seeds may not experience suitable condition for germination. So, at that particular season, the outer protective covering is protecting the seeds. So, the fruit wall protects the seeds from unfavorable conditions. Whenever the favorable condition comes, the fruit wall will decay. Seeds will be released and the seeds are developing into new plant. And also from animals. Sometime what will happen? The animals will try to spoil the seeds. But the protective covering, okay, the fruit wall is protecting the seeds from the animals. So animals cannot damage. Then both fleshy and dry fruits help in seed dispersal. Now we have to see how the fleshy fruits and the dry fruits help in seed dispersal. For example, fleshy fruit, seeds are there. The fleshy part is there. Some animals are picking up the fruit, taking to far off place, sitting on the branch of some other plant, eating the fleshy part and throwing the seeds down. If that place where the seeds are falling is suitable for the seeds will germinate into new plants. This is called a seed dispersal. So the animals are taking fleshy part and throwing the seeds somewhere. That is for fleshy part. Dry fruits. Now dry dehiscence particularly. The pericarp is drying and the pericarp is bursting, releasing all the seeds out. So when it is bursting, okay, dehiscing, the force is given to the seeds to scatter in the nearby places. That is for the dry fruits. So for seed dispersal, the fruit wall is very, very important. In some cases, that is in some fruits, fruit provides nutrition to the developing seedling. That means, what is the meaning of developing seedling? The seed germinate into a new plant. Okay, that new tiny plant is called a seedling. At the time, food is required. Okay, the seeds may store little amount of food which may not be enough for the complete development of the young plant. At that time, the fruit is providing the suitable nutrition. Okay, that is suitable nutrients to the young or developing seedling. Last one, source of medicines to human. So from the fruit wall, we are getting lot of medicines. Okay, now one example I would like to give. One plant is there, one tree is there. In normal Tamil name, you can say Vilgam tree. Normally in temples and all that will be there. But from the fruit wall, they are extracting an important medicine and they are preparing a tonic which is good for heart. So it is also heart tonic. So like that, many medicinal plants are there. The fruits are used as the medicine to cure various diseases. So source of medicines of human. Now we are coming to the seeds. Inside the fruits, seeds are present. Okay. Yes, the fruit may contain only one seed or it may be enormous number of seeds will be there. Now we have to know some details about the seeds. The seeds are nothing but fertilized, matured ovules develop into seeds. Once the fertilization is over, the fertilized egg or the fertilized ovules, matured ovules develop into seeds. In the introduction topic of the fruit, I told the wall of the ovary develops into pericarp. The fertilized ovules are developing into seeds. That only the first point. Second point, seeds possess embryonic plant, embryo plant, young plant, tiny plant we can say. So each seed is bearing very, very small embryo. Now on germination, this embryo is developing into the plantlet. Okay, so seeds possess embryonic plants. Seeds store food. Now even the seeds are storing lot of food. For example, we are consuming lot of grains. Why we are consuming lot of grains? Because they carry they contain lot of nutrients. So the seeds store food for embryonic development. The purpose of storage of the food in the seed is to supply the food to the embryo so that the embryo can successfully develop into the new plant. Okay, seeds store food for embryonic development. Seeds have protective coat called seed coat. Each seed of any plant, whether it is a tiny seed or larger seed, the seed is having a protective covering at the outermost region called seed coat. Now we are going to see the classification of seeds. Now we are classifying the seeds based on two principles. The first one we are going to see. Classification of a seeds based on number of cotyledons. So first we have to know cotyledons. What are they? Inside the seed, one structure is there called a cotyledon, which is storing the food. So cotyledon is nothing but food storing region in the seed. Food storing region in the seed. Based on the number of cotyledons, say seeds may have only one cotyledon or seeds may have two cotyledons. Okay, so based on the number of cotyledons, we can classify the seeds into dicot seeds and monocot seeds. Only two options, no other. What is the meaning of dicot? C-O-T, cot means cotyledon. First three letters are taken. Okay, cot means what? Cotyledon. Di means two. So dicot seeds means these seeds are having two cotyledons. These seeds are having two cotyledons. Okay, we'll take the characteristic features. Seeds with the two cotyledons. Just now I told what is the meaning of it. All dicot plants produce dicot seeds. Dicot plants. Okay. Now the dicot plants, before they are producing fruits or seeds and all, we can identify which are dicot plants. A plant which is having taproot system and the leaves which are having reticulate venation are called dicot plants. Okay, two characters I am telling. One is the root system should be taproot system and the leaves should have reticulate venation, network like venation. So they are called dicot plants. All dicot plants produce dicot seeds. Okay, so that name itself we are calling them as dicot plant because they are producing dicot seeds. Example, bean. Now this is the bean seed. Normally we are getting this dried bean seeds from the provision store. Okay, now this is the bean seed. If it is a dried, what we can do is we can soak it in water for about 1 day. Okay, it will imbibe lot of water and it will become very, very soft. Just if you press at the bottom, the seed coat will come away. The seed coat will be coming out. Then inside what is present is, this is one cotyledon. This is another one cotyledon. Okay, both are equal in size. Okay. Now these two cotyledons are storing food material. Because of the presence of two cotyledons, it is called what? Dicot seed. Then between the two cotyledons, connected with the two cotyledons, a tiny embryo is present. Now this is the embryo. Later on germination, the two cotyledons will supply food to the embryo. The embryo grows out and it is producing first, that is what? Stem, and young leaves will be coming out from this embryo. So for the germination of this embryo, the cotyledons store sufficient food and supplying food. That is dicot seed. Now we are coming to monocot seeds. Now these seeds are having mono. Mono means single, cotyledon. These seeds are having single cotyledon. See that? Seeds with one cotyledon are called monocot seeds. All monocot plants produce monocot seeds. Okay, how can we say that? The plant is a monocot plant. Okay, just like dicot, they have some characters. The root system of the plant will be fibrous root system. For dicot, taproot system. For monocot plants, it will be fibrous root system. Number two, the leaves are having parallel venation. Okay, if these two characters are there, the plant is monocot plant. In future, when it is maturing, when it is producing flowers, fruits and seeds, the seeds will be monocot seeds. Example, maize. Now this is the cross section of the maize seed. Okay. Now in this maize seed, don't bother about this part. This part is the food storing region. We are calling it as endosperm. But here if you take a few small projections you can find. They are single cotyledon. This is one cotyledon. Actually, this is a single cotyledon. One cotyledon is not storing any food. Even if it is a storing food, it is a negligible quantity. Now, this amount of food stored in the cotyledon is not sufficient to supply food for the successful development of the embryo. So, it is a cotyledon. Single cotyledon is there. So, it is called a monocot seed, but it is not storing any food. Endosperm is a storing food, large quantity. That food, the amount of food is enough for the germination of the seed. That is monocot seed. Example, maize. Okay, the second classification we are going to see. Classification of seeds based on endosperm. See, just before we have taken one classification, seeds with two cotyledon are called dicot seeds. Seeds with a single cotyledon are called monocot seeds. Okay, we have taken like this. But we are going to see the second classification based on endosperm. Just now I told endosperm is a storing food. Endosperm, presence of endosperm is a characteristic feature of monocot seed. Okay, dicot seeds will never have any endosperm. So based on that, we are classifying the seeds into two groups. One is albuminous. It is otherwise called a endospermous seed. What is the meaning of endospermous? The seed with endosperm. It is a seed with endosperm. It's called endospermous. In the endosperm, the albumin, lot of protein is stored. So that we are calling it as albuminous. That means the seed is storing lot of albumin, protein, or endospermous seed. Okay. Now see that cotyledon is thin and it is membranous. This is the cotyledon. It is very thin and membranous, not meant for storage of food material. Endosperm is a large in size and store food to nourish the seedlings during germination. Endosperm is a very large and it is storing lot of food material for the germination of the embryo. Example, castor. Okay, castor is a best example. Another one is maize. From the castor seeds only, we are crushing and grinding and extracting castor oil. Okay, so that one, the castor and maize are only two examples. Don't think that only these two. There are so many hundreds of examples will be there. Only we are giving two examples for albuminous or endospermous seeds. Okay, the second group is called exalbuminous. In the name itself, we can understand. Exalbuminous. Albuminous means presence of albumin. X means absence. Absence of protein. Absence of albumin. That is exalbuminous seed. Non-endospermous. In the seeds, non means absence. Absence of endosperm. Okay. Now you see that endosperm is totally absent. Cotyledons are large, but where the food is stored, if endosperm is not present, cotyledon. Cotyledons are very large, fleshy and store food on maturity. On maturity, the cotyledons are storing food. Supply of a food to the seedling during germination. Okay, that means the food what is present in the cotyledons are supplied to the seedlings for germination at the time of germination. Example, pea, groundnut, bean. The bean already the same diagram we have taken. So single one, two cotyledons, they are storing lot of food and the food is supplied to the embryo at the time of germination. Like the groundnut, even the groundnut seed, one seed if you take, it is having very thin outer paper like covering, that is called a seed coat. Gently if you press it, it will come away and what is present inside, it is broken into two pieces. Each piece is one cotyledon, two cotyledon. But in the two pieces, if you take it in one piece, one small white ridge will be there. One projection will be there. That is the embryo. So the same way for pea also we can find. Now that's we have completed about exalbuminous. So in the second classification, seeds are classified into albuminous, exalbuminous. Otherwise called endospermous, non-endospermous. So classification of seeds is over. Now we are coming to the last part of it. Significance of seeds. What are the importance of seeds? We have to see the significance. Now the seeds, any one seed if you take, it encloses and protects the embryo. It is covering the embryo and giving protection to the embryo for next generation. Only seeds can germinate into next generation. Okay, but particularly in the seed, the embryo can develop. See, each seed contains food for the developing embryo. The seed is containing sufficient amount of food material for the embryo. Each seed is meant for dispersal to develop a new plant. Dispersal of seeds. Just before I told, the seeds, all the seeds of the parent plant are falling under the plant. They cannot germinate successfully because of space, because of a shade and all. What they have to do, once a plant is producing seeds, the seeds must be scattered. Okay, they must be carried to the distant place. That is called dispersal. So the seeds are meant for dispersal to develop into a new plant in new area. Seed is meant for the perpetuation of species. What is the meaning of perpetuation? Continuation of the species. Okay, for example, one mango tree is there. Okay, now it is producing enormous number of fruits, enormous number of seeds. When the seeds are germinating, again mango plant will be there. By that time the old plant will die, the next generation will come. Now the next generation will come up, they attain maturity, they produce seeds. When the third generation is coming, the previous generation will die out. Like that, perpetuation means continuation of the species. Okay, the species will continue. Perpetuation of the species. Dormant, the seed will be dormant. Dormant means in the resting condition. The seed will not be active. Okay, dormant. During unfavorable condition, for example, the condition, the season is not suitable for germination. Then what the seed will do? The seed will be in dormant condition, resting condition, inactive, but not dying. Seed is not dying. It is in the dormant condition. I'll give, okay, unfavorable condition and germinate during favorable condition. Okay, once the favorable condition comes, it will germinate. Okay, I'll give one example for dormant during unfavorable condition and germinate during favorable condition. For example, we are taking palm tree. Okay, now the palm fruit is there. Now in that 3 seeds will be there. We are taking one seed. It is having outer hard protective shell will be there. Inside that cotyledon plus what will be there? The embryo will be there. Suppose you are burying it into the soil. Okay, but immediately it will not germinate because the season may not be a suitable season. Okay, what will happen in the soil without undergoing decay? The seed will be there for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. That is dormant. At the time, the seed is in the dormant stage, inactive stage, during, because the condition is unfavorable. Imagine that one particular season, it becomes favorable, okay, for the palm seed to grow. Then what will happen? Once the favorable condition comes, then the seed is germinating into a tiny new plant. Okay, that is the explanation for this. Okay, the seed is used as food for animals and a human being. Okay, some seeds are used for germination. Okay, so we are sowing the seeds, next generation is coming up, but all the seeds are not doing that. So what will happen? Majority of the seeds we are taking from the plants, processing them, and we are storing the seeds for consumption, human consumption. Grains, okay, dry grains, lot of grains we are taking, cereals, pulses, okay, everything for human being. Not only for us, some grains are used as a food for animals also. Okay, so that is a horse gram we are telling. Horse gram, even human consumption is possible. At the same time, the horse gram is a good food, nutritious food for the horse. Okay, because the muscles will become very, very stronger. Okay, like that. Used as food for animals and human being. Basis for agriculture. The grains are basis for agriculture. Whether we are cultivating paddy or we are cultivating wheat or maize or whatever it is, we need seeds. Without seeds, we cannot germinate the new plants. So, it is basis for agriculture. The products of sexual reproduction providing genetic variation. For example, in the seeds, we are applying biotechnology. The genes are there, which are carrying the characters of the parents to the next generation. So that is genetics, what we are studying. But what we are doing, we are applying certain technique and we are altering the genes in the gametes. Okay, that is only the sexual reproduction. We are altering the thing. As a result of which new products are coming out. The products of sexual reproduction providing genetic variation. So once the genes are altered, the characters will be changed. So the next generation will be a new generation. Okay, that is called a genetic variation. Okay, variation means differences in the characters, variation, and recombination in the plants. What is that recombination? Whenever we are altering the genes, sometimes we are introducing the gene from other plant into our agriculture plant. Okay, that time recombination, original DNA plus new DNA will combine. That is called a recombination. Now, in 12th standard, you will study about the technology, biotechnology. There you will study about recombinant DNA technology. That is called recombination in a plant. Okay, so whenever the new varieties are coming and whenever recombinations are there, the plant in the next generation with variations will give so much of products for us. So to meet our need of food material, otherwise the food demand will be there, food scarcity will be there. So we are doing this by technique, applying certain techniques. So that's we have completed about the reproductive morphology. So in the reproductive morphology, we have studied about what are the different types of inflorescence. Then one flower, what are the various whorls are present. The next one is the fruits and seeds. What are the various types of fruits, that is classification, and what are the various types of seeds and the significance of fruit wall and the significance of seeds. All the things we have completed. Okay, so by this we are completing reproductive morphology. So previously vegetative morphology, only stem, root and the leaves we have studied. Now reproductive morphology we have completed. Thank you. God bless you.